podcast. Let's get it. Let's go.
Yeah.
I think the baby sleeps, so not too loud. Anyway, I had two special guests. Guys, introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Inga.
And I'm Thor.
And we are Adults Talking Anime Plus.
And siblings.
And siblings.
Yeah.
So today, I was on their podcast. I don't know when they're gonna. I think you said Friday. So go check out theirs. I'll have all their stuff in the description. Before we get into it, y'all like, comment, subscribe, turn notification bell so you get notified for all the podcasts. Thank y'all for 300 subs. Thank y'all for all the follows on Instagram. Go follow Sheet at eyes.offthe.lens. And yeah, we're getting ready to it. Today, I'm gonna interview you guys. We're gonna chop it up, talk some anime. I even have some stuff about your cosplaying that I want to ask you about. And I know you're into gaming, so I got some gaming questions. So we're gonna have a good time.
Yes, we're ready.
On the peace sign like every Tuesday, like more than the lyrics to that My Hero song, and that song is called Peace Sign.
All right, just move
and
on.
you've done it more frequently.
Let him get to the question. Let's do it.
I love all My Hero intros, by the way. I love all of them.
They're so good.
Okay, first question. Y'all should already know this one. What made you guys start a podcast? Like,
I'll still let you go first.
who inspired y'all to make a podcast? I said, did anybody inspire y'all? Was it a thing y'all was in like the garage and y'all just like, we both know anime, let's just do it?
Well, I've been on the I've been listening to podcasts for a while. What made me, it's funny because it wasn't necessarily an anime podcast that inspired me. It was just these two YouTubers called Grace and Mamrie, so Grace Helbig and Mamrie Hart, who were just two YouTubers I always really looked up to and just kind of like identified with. And they had a podcast, and I was just like, it's really fun and just good. And then I was listening to, I've listened to several other ones, and I was just like, it would be really fun to talk anime with somebody because we do it all the time in my friend group. And as adults, I thought, hey, I bet you there are other adults or other people who would be interested in hearing what other people think about anime. So that's kind of how we got there.
Yeah, long-time listener, first-time podcaster. And for me, I'd love like radio. Boomer and Carton is it's New York sports radio, and Mike Francesa also had his own block. So I've been listening to Voices for a long time, and I think the only thing I've stayed extremely consistent with has always been anime. Like Inga got me into anime to begin with. And so I always made it a priority to stay up to date with every anime season. I'd always pick a couple. Like I wasn't, attacking it. It wasn't an attack on tightening it. But I was I was regularly watching like 3 or 4 things and trying to see what I'm also big into Reddit too.
Yeah, you love Reddit.
Yeah.
I love Reddit. I can spend like 7 hours on Reddit.
Absolutely.
I don't understand Reddit, and that's just me showing. I don't get it. Like
I don't either.
I try to, but I'm confused.
Reddit and TikTok are like my most used apps. Not gonna lie.
Believe.
Love me some TikTok too. My next question is: what are some challenges with podcasting? Like, what is something like that makes it like ugh? Like,
I would say, honestly, it's really hard because I thought I had a really clear vision when I first started the podcast. And you may have also run into this, or eventually you kind of find like, it's hard to get people to either consistently say they'll come on your podcast or just even if you're at first just trying to do it, like in my head, I was like, oh, it'll be cool. I'll get like, because I was living out in LA, and I also am, pursuing /
it's applied to a college today out there.
Yeah, it's tough. I was trying to do I'm doing voiceover, and I was like, oh, this will be really easy to get like voiceover friends on, or people working in the industry. And A, if you don't have a direct contact, very hard. And B, consistency, just feeling like, I don't know, in the beginning, you always kind of have to remember nobody's listening, and that's okay. So you just got to keep doing it.
Yeah.
So I feel like those are some of those kind of like the struggles is like staying consistent when you know nobody's listening, figuring out like being able to be flexible with your podcast and letting it evolve and change and grow and not being so stuck with like what you think it should be.
Yeah.
I guess mine is just making sure that I don't think doing the podcast is particularly hard. And I think, so it's definitely more Inga's baby than anything. And for me, like I can definitely do it. It's not something I can own because anything that I say that I'm going to do, I've been like on a wicked track of just like knocking stuff out. I'm a career changer. So I had like a full on career in sales before. And I pivoted since to go into IT. And the way that you successfully change careers is by setting up goals, being specific with what you want to do, make sure that you make the SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, timely. This is just business advice, and we'll go. Welcome to our business podcast. And the things that you got to keep in mind are, if you're going to say something, do it and follow through. Because honestly, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. These are cliches, people. I'm coming at you quickly. So the podcast, not challenging, but making sure that, I'm not too obnoxious of a partner. Yeah. And so it's encouraging continuing it, because I'm a firm believer of the very beginning that you're doing something, it's probably going to be the worst that you're going to do it. So the important thing is to consistently do it so you can consistently grow. Otherwise, you're going to be working on one thing for 4 weeks, and that literally should be the worst thing that you put out that month. Yeah. Because you've only got one thing that you put out. I don't know.
I agree. I understand what you were saying about like the consistency, because when this is a little funny story. My co-host, bro, he was that last person I asked. He would be my co-host. Because I asked all my friends.
And I want you to know that. I'm looking at you. Know that you were the last person.
No. It was because like I just didn't know if he wanted to do it, and I had all these people tell me like, "Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be here." And then when it's time, nobody's here. Nobody's consistent. And then maybe for a few little episode stretch, I had like 3-4 people on here, but it was like a few people wanted to try to take over. Other people wanted to press their ideas and press me down, and that wasn't cool, because like I tried to make this like kind of like family chill vibe. Like we at home talking about anime like on a sofa, and it was just like after that I was like, all right, it's gonna be 2 people. I wanted originally like 4, but 2 people it is.
It's true. It's that whole too many cooks in the kitchen scenario, or chefs.
It's very easy to insert your ideas when you don't own it.
Sure.
And my thing was, I'm the one staying up at 5 a.m. editing. I'm making ideas, writing the scripts. So it was like, and y'all don't even show for weeks, but y'all don't tell me what y'all think is good and bad.
Yeah. Those are going to be the people who are only putting in 10% or 8% of whatever the actual, like whatever that mixture is. And then they're coming in with the first thing they're going to talk about is things they want to change and things that they think could be done better, which are just ways to say they don't like that something's happening.
Exactly. Like one dude, he told me he would edit his videos and then put it on his channel. Like I'm just like, dude, I didn't know how to edit, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna learn. I'm still probably not even great to this day. I learned it. That's something like a skill that I have now, learning and doing it. But he was like, yeah, I'm gonna edit your videos, and then I'm gonna do this and that. And he's been on before. I ain't gonna put him out there, but
say his name, first and last name. Say his first and last name.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to anything you say.
Ruin relationships.
The worst.
Burn the bridge. Burn the bridge right now.
I mean, he loves social media, so that. I don't know. I told him I didn't want nobody cussing. He said we offended him because we think we're stuck up and bougie. That's his words, not mine. But,
wow. What are you gonna do?
I don't even care about cussing. It's just the fact you're out here.
We can't cuss on this podcast. I guess I'll take.
No,
I don't really curse that often. I call it cursing.
Because my mom, I don't want her seeing me how I really am. I mean, how I am sometimes. My bad, Mom.
Exactly.
It's just all of a sudden it's all YouTube where you exposed yourself, and you're like, oh,
you're about to get canceled
by his mom,
by Chris Dixon.
Exactly. Yeah, that's probably what y'all said. Consistency, having ideas that are fresh. That's probably one of the hardest things to sit around and follow. Yeah, I like that. Okay, cosplaying. Tell me about that. How that started.
Well, I'm pretty much the only one cosplaying. I got him to dress up with me one time, but he didn't want to.
I had a mustache at the time, and it didn't make any sense.
But you also didn't. So he did Midoriya. He was doing Deku, and I was doing Nana Shimura. And he's like, I will not wear a wig. I do not want to dye my hair green. I do not want to do any of the things.
I like the realistic stuff versus the
That's
wigs.
not cosplay. But for me, I actually have a group that I cosplay with in California, just a group of friends. But I started with one of my best friends / one of my coworkers. We'd been talking about cosplaying for years and years and just didn't do it. And then finally we bought tickets to LA Comic-Con, and he's like, I'm ready. I'm going to cosplay. And I'm like, are you really? And he's like, I am. He took a sewing class. Then I took a sewing class. And then we were ordering props and costumes and just doing the whole thing. And then from that point on, we were just super hooked. And it's really fun. I've been going to conventions for years, but I've only been cosplaying for the last, I would have said 2 years, but this year didn't even count. So I've been cosplaying in my room.
Yeah, exactly. I want to do like a con. I would love, like, whenever things are somewhat better, I would love to do something like that. But
it's so fun, and like people, I don't know, it just adds another layer to going to a convention, because I was not like overwhelmed, but I thought it was, wow, this is really fun, because it was huge and there's so much to see and there are panels and there's so much to buy or look at. And then the whole cosplaying aspect was just a whole different thing. Like, I literally thought some of these people were paid to be there because their costumes are so incredible. Yeah. And then when I really delved in and I found out like people are making these like Iron Man suits and stuff, I'm like, this is nuts. Yeah. It's so crazy, but it's super fun. I suggest if you want to, just do it. That's it. Just do it. Don't sit around and wait. Just do it.
I might.
You should just do it.
I don't know. I asked you cosplay story. Okay. This is for you since you're the cosplayer. Who's your favorite person to cosplay it, or favorite anime character or a superhero maybe that you come out?
So my favorite, the one that I probably get more recognized for now, is actually Ochako, so Ravity from My Hero Academia. And the other one that kind of gets associated with me, because these are also the ones I've cosplayed the most, is Yuna from Final Fantasy X. Yeah. So I started, like, this entire journey started with Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy X. Like, I just was super obsessed with her character. I loved her character design. It was my game growing up. I was just like, I love Final Fantasy and everything about it. So those are probably the two characters I'm most known for cosplaying. I do a lot of casual Ochako. That's all that stuff's like on my Instagram. I do her a lot. I just really love, like, I really got obsessed with My Hero, and it's one of the best group experiences. I did a huge cosplay group where we had like almost everybody from class 1A, and it was just such a fun experience. We had a really good time that it just like warms my heart when I think about it, and like when I do her, it gives me happy thoughts.
That sounds really fun. Okay, my next one: top 5 anime your enjoyment. Doesn't mean like your top 5 all the time. Just animes you really enjoy, like 5.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go first.
It's a pressure question.
I know.
You have to not only think of something, but you have to think of 5 things. And you're gonna go first.
I like it. As I pointed out to you.
All right, we gotta be more specific here, like ones that I can rewatch over and over again, like in the background, or just ones that
you enjoyed it so much you wish you could go back to the first time you watched it.
Okay. Oh, I love that.
I could wish it was the first time all over again. Death Note, Angel Beats. I'm gonna say I mean, I like the fact that I've earned watching all of my super long anime, so I think all of these have to be like those great 13 episode ones. High School of the Dead, that was one that was like the first time, like once you know that there's not going to be a second season, it's absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
That's why I don't get hooked on them 13 episode ones. It'll hurt my heart.
Yeah. And you get one OVA and that's it. What's another game changer one for me? Code Geass.
Okay. Lelouch.
Yeah, love Lelouch. I'd still like. I even like that new season for Code Geass. So it was great seeing that the world could expand. What also crushes? How many am I at? 4?
You just need one more.
No.
Just need one more?
I think so. Was it 2? I don't know. I think it's one.
I think 2. But I can't.
We could have done this as a round robin.
Oh, we could have done that. I mean, if you want to think for a second, I have 3, I think. So I would say for sure, I would go back and rewatch, like for the first time, Inuyasha again. Made me super happy, gave me all the good thoughts and feelings. I would probably also say, I would go with Death Note 2 because that beginning is so good, and when you really don't know what's happening, amazing. I also think I would do Fairy Tail as a full on, like, I wish I didn't know what was happening so I could just fully enjoy it all over again. So that's 3. My 4th one, what else would I watch that I wish I could watch again from the beginning? That's so funny because they're so long.
From the very beginning.
I've invested so much time.
That's the other reason why Dragon Ball Z, like Dragon Ball was almost very close to
Tokyo Ghoul. I'll probably do Tokyo Ghoul again.
Tokyo Ghoul's the funniest one because my opinions on it are, if you watch just the animes, it's like you don't know what happened in between these seasons.
Oh yeah.
And then you're like, good guys becoming bad guys becoming ghouls becoming good guys, everyone's bad and everyone's good. What happened? I don't know still. And I watched every episode.
Read the manga.
That's the top. Tokyo Ghoul is the top show that makes me say, what? And that's my number 1.
That season 1 was just that first episode. That was
season very, very dope. Yeah. Man, I love, you know what, Parasite?
Oh, yeah. I don't like the end of Parasite, though. Like, the last, 5 episodes.
It ends how it has to end. It ends how it has to. Parasite's really good. Run with the Wind. That's it. That's my last one, is Run with the Wind.
Parasite.
You wish you just didn't know. You would watch it as if you've never watched it before.
It's literally the second anime to make me cry.
I would call it that's a comfort food anime because it makes you feel so. It's the best 26 episodes. It wraps up beautifully. I'm trying to think of what else. I have 2 more.
Because that's literally an anime that's like, that was my first cooking type of anime, so that's just something. It felt good, Fan service was alright. So.
2 more.
It's always hard with 2 more.
I know, because
I think I said 6.
You just kept going. I guess if I was to do an anime, I could start again. I do actually like. Ooh, you know what? Yeah, but every time I watch Hunter x Hunter, I feel like sometimes I miss things, and it is the first time I've watched it.
It is great because you question at the end. The philosophical ones are the ones
so
that,
good.
Hunter x Hunter's. It's also going to be on my list. Make that all part of my 5.
Oh my gosh! You
I don't
just
think
keep
it's coming back though. That's sad. But now that it's coming back, it's been years.
It's true. It's one of those. Ooh, you know what? No, that's not one I'd want to like. I love that I'm watching it now. I was gonna say Fruits Baskets. All of mine are like kind of sweet.
The 90s Fruit Baskets.
No, because the crazy part is the newer one is better. It's the the animation's like way prettier. The storyline makes more sense. They're definitely following. I didn't read the manga, but from what I've heard, it's following the manga like way better than the first one because it ends. The first one ends like it just ends. Yeah. It doesn't really have, and it's not like satisfying. I'm also trying to think of, is there anything really satisfying. Maybe Naruto. I guess I no, because the beginning of Naruto, the first time I watched it, made me angry. So it would be hard to say, like, I just was irritated with Naruto himself as a character. Like, there was a lot I didn't get. It's the rewatches that have made me like it more.
Ooh, you know what movie? I like a silent voice. That's just like a sad, like I think we talked about it on your podcast, but
Yeah.
I like that. It's just like 3 hours long. So
That's
but it was 3 hours long when you're binging like a 500 episode show.
So I
That's
wonder
true.
if I should. I do think so with Dragon Ball, like Dragon Ball Z and all the other variations of Dragon Ball, make it harder to watch the original Dragon Ball where Goku's growing up, because I mean, regardless, like everybody loves a good Super Saiyan, and it is crazy that we lived our entire lives without, or like that whole thing was there was no Super Saiyan transformation, not one.
Not in Dragon Ball.
In Dragon Ball, where he's flying on the cloud Nimbus. He's not flying. Like that's just a part of the Dragon Ball Z world. He's not flying.
Yeah.
Like basically the whole show.
I figured mine out. Yuri on Ice. I know that's so out of left field.
Hilarious.
But I had such emotions when I saw it. I loved it. I would love to feel that way again.
Okay, I like.
Is that 4? Is that 5?
9.
What are you guys's? Which ones? What are your top 5s?
Okay, I'm gonna go Naruto. I'm gonna go Food Wars, like I said. Bungo Stray Dogs, because I really like that. I don't know if y'all
Okay.
Prison School, because it's funny. And Dr. Stone, because I don't know, I was really happy during that time.
I love Dr. Stone too. I'm so excited it's coming back it's the winter, second season's dropping.
It just hasn't been gone long enough for me to think like I wish I could have experienced again.
Yeah.
So
okay, yeah, you're right.
I just experienced it.
Yeah, exactly.
I just experienced it. I haven't even rewatched it.
Yeah.
Probably. I'm gonna definitely have to go with Kogias, because I love Lelouch. I love Z2. I love the cast. I love the brains behind it. I love the world building. I'm gonna go with probably a One Piece. One Piece is kind of the one anime that
I'm good.
One Piece made me cry so much. I'm not gonna lie. It's certain part.
Yeah.
We're still not where we want to be at. I'm good. Definitely Berserk. First coming into Berserk was very shocking but exciting.
Yeah.
I tried to do Beastars. I didn't like it, bro. I tried.
Beastars is I kind of feel the same way. I mean, I'll probably watch season 2, but I was like, what am I watching?
Like
I
don't know.
It's kind of in the threshold. I believe it's for a selected few. I read the manga of it. I've watched the anime. I watched the series on Netflix, but I'm more in tune with the manga because the manga is.
I'm a liar in my 5. I'm a liar. Gurren Lagann.
That's a good one.
Nothing that you said made me think of Gurren Lagann except for every word that you said. I didn't realize that Gurren Lagann was my answer the whole time.
Trying to think.
I think you have 2 more though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Agami ga Kill.
Okay.
Yeah. Although the manga's way better.
Oh yeah.
Akame ga Kill or the other one? What did you want to say? Because it's like.
Kill.
Oh, okay. I thought you said the other one.
I'll definitely rewatch it. Watching that for the first time, it did not take the road that I thought it was going to take whatsoever. And I guess my last one will probably be Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z.
I understand it. Oh, Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
I don't understand any. I'm just kidding.
I got my last one. Promise Neverland, because.
Oh, that's a really good one.
I actually still haven't watched it, but
it's super good.
I'm kind of scared too.
I'm missing out, man.
You shouldn't be scared.
You can binge that in a day. You can binge that. It's 12 episodes. You can get that.
Ooh, I'm like nervous. I don't know why.
I'm not gonna spoil. I'm not gonna.
Has anybody watched Angels of Death?
Yes, I did not.
You didn't like it. You know what? I just was like, I liked it, but at the same time, it's very unsettling. Just because you didn't watch. Have you watched it all the way through? Oh, I'm not gonna ruin it, but it's got a weird ending.
Didn't that dude and the little girl get together or something like that? Or
I didn't finish it quite say. I'm like near the ending.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to go back and finish it real quick. But
It's worth doing.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth finishing for sure. I don't know. It's a weird ending, and it definitely is one of those that like leave you thinking, like,
Yeah, it's not gonna have like a season 2 for sure.
No. It's that there would be no way. Do you know what I also liked? And I know you were talking about how you weren't a fan of isekais, but for some reason this made me think of it. I actually really liked, and I didn't think I would. The hero is overpowered but cautious.
Oh yeah,
I love it. Okay, I love the anime. I've seen it.
Oh, okay, good. I was like, that one I really liked.
Yeah,
and because he was so frustrating at first, and then you get it.
That one was really. I love that anime. That's a really good one. Okay, now we're gonna get controversial. Animes that are overrated. I don't care.
Animes that are overrated.
Overrated, like you think they're like just either too hyped or you think they're trash and they still get hyped. Give it to me.
Animes that are overrated. Let's see. I mean, part of the reason I waited so long to watch Naruto was because I believed that Naruto was probably overhyped. But here's the thing. Once I watched it, I realized it wasn't. Except for I had the luxury of going through a list and skipping fillers and just kind of like doing it that way. And I feel like if I would have been watching it week to week, I may have thought it would have been overhyped.
What a snap. Because like imagine like I remember they had like a 50 episode filler streak. Imagine like for a year straight filler. Feel like you're
oh yeah, I would have jumped off a bridge. It was crazy. Yeah. For me it was oh my gosh, who did do I feel like I was watching Bleach more concurrently. Would that make sense? It was probably airing. I just wasn't watching.
It was airing at the same time.
Yeah, I was like, I just wasn't watching Naruto, but I was watching Bleach, and Bleach, that's the stuff that frustrated me the most with Bleach, because I just thought, like, what's happening? Why is this all happening? Can we get back to, like, they're in the middle, they're supposed to be fighting, Aizen or something, and they're not. I don't know, but I don't know, overhyped now. Who do you got?
Like,
or overrated?
Every season past like the first season of Sword Art Online.
Oh yeah.
I think the anime community comes together and says that it's trash. So I think we all mostly acknowledge that it was not good.
But at the same point, we watched the hell out of it, especially that second season.
I didn't.
There wasn't a single person. And then when there was Gun Gale, everybody was in up until he was a girl. Everyone was in. Everybody was in. Like no one. Like it's cliche. The take on it is like, oh yeah, you know what? I was always against Sword Art Online. No, you weren't, because that second version, when they were flying around, we were all in. We all understood it. Nobody even cared about the premise. Go save Asuna. What's the situation she's in? It's insane. But everybody loved it. And then it's just something you can't rewatch. I can rewatch the first season 1,000 times though.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the second season or the third or its incarnations.
But that's because you didn't watch it at the time.
What do you mean?
If you were watching Sword Art Online as it came out,
okay,
the only thing you wanted was more Sword Art Online.
That's hilarious.
And then the only reason they got a season 3 is because everybody was watching season 2.
Interesting.
And then the reason they got a season 4 is because we still watched.
I want to hear what you guys think. What's your overrated anime? Because I don't know if I really have one yet.
Go first. I got a little list.
Okay.
Currently, what I would say is kind of overrated, but it's good. But I would kind of say Jujutsu Kaisen as being too overhyped in his own way.
I agree.
Yeah, it's a good anime. I'm not saying it's bad or anything like that.
Good anime. It's just calm the brakes. It's eight up. Like same thing with Sword Online. Anybody can have a great one season. We got chill with putting it in your top something list. You know,
Alicization really good. I'm still watching Sword Online. I just want people to know where I think the overhype is, and it really was that. Probably season 3. Go on.
Well, you got Jujutsu Kaisen. Anything else?
Well, I can't really. I'm gonna have to really think on anyone or anything else other than Jujutsu Kaisen. Well, currently,
Or all time?
It's tough all time.
I figured out what mine is though. It's God of High School.
No, I think everybody acknowledges that it's not a good storyline. It's just anime.
I hope so, but if they don't, that's the one.
I don't think anybody really thinks God of High School is necessarily really good. I really hope. I think if you do, you need to get checked out for something. I don't know.
I love God of High School because I read the webtoon. It's just the anime kind of hurts because they skip certain parts. I noticed they skipped certain parts in the show that was in the webtoon because the webtoon is not all action.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think when they jumped to the wedding episode, I was like, what the hell is happening?
So much happened in that one episode.
It was episode 3, but the worst part about it, and we talked about this a little bit, was how I can't even remember any of the characters' names. Yeah. And that's not a good start for an anime. Like, if I can't remember even the main character's name, like at least one person in this show, we got a problem.
Rashid, who's the main character's name? I don't know. What's his name?
Oregon.
Oh, I don't ring a bell anyway. So, but yeah, I
the main character of the show.
I gave it like 5 episodes. Maybe season 2. I don't know. You got any more sheet before I go? I got like 2 or 3 maybe.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I got Tower of God. I don't think that show's good. At least season 1. I don't know about the web. The webtoon might be good. But
I feel like you gotta finish it though. There's such a good, it's so good, but it's hard. If you're not enjoying the first 3, then maybe you won't enjoy the end. I don't know.
I feel like if I can't get past, like, if I had to sit myself down, almost like force myself, I don't know.
Sometimes, yeah, it's true.
Sometimes you gotta do it.
Yeah, I know in Tower of God, the beginning, the beginning of the story is a little slow and a little confusing. It's trying to work you through it in a way, but it's in its own pace. It's trying to pretty much teach you the world and the facts about what's going on and why certain characters are doing this and that. It's trying to world build in its own way, but at the same time, like, it's just kind of slow. But if you give it its time, it's really good. Yeah, I'm caught up with the webtoon.
Mm-hmm. It's on a break right now. Yeah. With Tower of God, it's one of those where as they start doing the situations on each one of the levels, they give you the layout, and if you're really creative, you can almost also think of ways that they can beat whatever thing that they're accomplishing. And it also, like, it adds so much value to the whole cast of characters too. So many stories have, like, the main protagonist only just do one thing in order to get their way out of it, and it's just always just pure power, pure strength. And Tower of God values the heck out of the smart person, like the tactician. Like, right. You need that person. You need the long range person. Because yes, we get an OP character as time goes on, but because there's no power creep that happens in Tower of God. And I look at it and go, okay, in the very beginning, you have to level set consistently to appreciate it. So I loved it, but I think it's because I read it.
I liked it. I only read some of it. Okay. And I liked it. But
I'm on Reddit.
One more. I think it's gonna be like controversial as a mother. I don't like Attack on Titan. I don't like Attack on Titan. Like, I loved it, but I gave it 2 seasons. I really didn't like it, and I was just like, it's just not for me. I think it's a little juice. It's a little, but
I was in on episode 1, Because, again, I appreciate the realism.
Episode 1 was really great. I'm not gonna lie. Like episode 1 really had you hooked. I'm not gonna lie.
And it carried me straight on through to December.
And for my last one, let me think. Not over. Okay, this is a good show, but Demon Slayer. It's a really great show. But I'm just like, y'all, calm down. Let it finish out before we start putting in all-time rankings and having it over this thing. And not even because of nostalgia. Just let the show finish.
You know, it's so funny. It's actually part of the reason I held off watching Demon Slayer, because I feel like it was so overhyped. And then, I don't know, sometimes you just don't want to be that person who's like in it with everybody.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not watching it. And then I did watch some of it, but I think I gave up. I gave up right as he...
I don't know. How'd you give up? I feel like it's really addicting, though. I feel like once you get into it, it's addicting. I think...
I'm sure I'm going to pick it up again, just because at this point, everybody's like, no, it's good. You should watch it.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe it's slow in the very beginning, and he's by himself. He's by himself with his sister. And yeah, they're trying to, like, I don't know. It's been so long since I tried.
First episode, family gets slaughtered.
Yeah. I mean, I watched it. I watched it, but I didn't keep watching it. Was kind of what happened. But I don't know. Part of it was because I was just like, I don't want to be like, oh, it's so good, because everybody else likes it, which is silly.
I think the animation also helped it. The animation was probably one of the crispest shows. Like,
yeah, it was gorgeous.
I'll pick it back up.
No, I know. I mean, I can get why, though. I can get why.
Why I stopped?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like everybody was like, oh my God, that next episode, it gets like crazy. But I didn't even get like Ryusuke. I didn't even get to anybody yet. Like he only had that one fight where he was trying to learn to get stronger.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm
in the mountains, when he was in the mountains.
Yeah, when he's in the mountains and he's trying to learn how to get stronger. That was like the last episode I watched.
It's because at that point, it's still...
building
you can tell it was different from the way they opened the show, and the fact that it was like, okay, this is a really interesting take on demons. This is a really interesting take on having it be a job. Like the world was definitely different, but then it hopped right into something where it's tough to push through like the predictable nature of things, where it's like, I've seen a weak character train to get strong a million times, and their montage wasn't hype. Like their montage wasn't like crazy acted.
They have so much great animation. They could use all that for like a longer training arc or whatever.
It could have been, but I don't necessarily think that that's what the show was about. Like the show was so much more about. It is more about story, and it's more about building relationships than it is about the fights. And like the fights are cool and things like that. But I can see how it's like it doesn't grip you. But I'm more attracted to things that are like different. Where it's like, oh, okay, this is a different story. Mm-hmm. It's being told in a different way, at least.
I see what you're saying. I mean, I think everybody said if I just would have pushed through a little bit longer, I probably would have been on the hype train too. At that time, I think I was trying to watch several things, and because it didn't just like really pop off, and however many episodes for me that was, I was like, I gotta move on. But it's one of those things that I definitely know that I wanted to come back to, for sure. Especially because everybody's like, it's good. So.
Nice. All right, next question. How do y'all feel about anime games? Maybe like Jump Force. What is your opinion of Jump Force? Like, me and she play all the time when we're around. What do y'all feel like? How do y'all feel generally? Jump Force and anime games in general.
Dragon Ball Z anime games are the best anime games I've created. That's it. It's just the number one, because I've played a couple versions of the same thing, and they just make me play the same storyline that I watched on TV, and I'm okay with it. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, there's nothing wrong with that.
That one was actually really good.
But it's also the same thing as Dragon Ball Z, whatever was released in 2004.
Are the graphics better at all, or no?
Absolutely, they're better.
Okay.
Well. It does hurt not having a good anime game, because I watch all these great shows, and I'm like, man, I wish I could play as them. And then you get Jump Force. Like, so Jump Force, how do y'all feel about that? I want to know. Like, I read some things. They're making a whole new game 2021. I read some articles. They're talking about it because it sold a lot. Did y'all get it, buy it, play it?
No. I don't even think I'm that familiar with it, to be honest. I think the last anime game I played, I mean, I watched you play Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, but I think the last physical one I played was an Inuyasha anime game for the PlayStation. And I don't even remember what this, I mean, the storyline was wacky because it didn't even really follow the show. It was just kind of like, do stuff. And that was it. I'm like, all right.
You know who I think will have a great anime game that doesn't have like on a PS5 and Xbox, like Bleach, because their art style is already so like unique and different and it's crisp. I feel like, and they have a good like with the Soul Society saving arc or whatever, like that would be great for like.
Oh, that really would be good.
Great. So if Sony, y'all watching this, I just give y'all 3 ideas. Pay me.
Yes, get it, Sony. That actually would be a great one. I have a lot of friends playing the Bleach mobile game.
Yeah, I have
they're obsessed with that.
Not doing nothing.
I'm more of a Final Fantasy person on the mobile phone. Any version of all the names are crazy. Exodus, the most recent one.
Yeah.
But it's just nice.
It's really pretty.
It's sick. Yeah, Square Enix does good work.
They do. I have to agree. No, I was gonna say that's not anime. That's a video game. Yeah, because my whole thing is Final Fantasy. Definitely. I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. If you could have any anime career for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Ooh, voiceover. I want to be a main character. I want to be the voice of a character.
Would you learn Japanese to be doing sub, or would you do?
Oh, I'd have to be a dub. There's no way. I would love to learn Japanese, but my Japanese would sound not good. Arigato. Hi. That's it. Actually, that's not true. I learned most of my Japanese from watching anime. I told somebody who was taking Japanese, I was like, I know.
I'm taking it right now.
Yes, that's good. It's hard though. I tried to do it on Duolingo. And I'm like, yes, the alphabet's tough. I'm like, this is hard. Do I know anything or am I just guessing?
So you're definitely doing a voice. What you doing?
Panel host.
You're just gonna go to panels?
Yeah.
You know, if you're a voiceover, you can go to panels.
No, I won't be on the panel. Then I have to do the work there. But I could be the hype man in the beginning.
Do you just want to work at a convention?
Absolutely.
Paid to just give people a hype. That's kind of, for me. I'll probably write a storyline because I have crazy ideas with how these animes could go in a direction. But then again, I'm a dub actor. That's like the easiest job ever. Probably voice actor. That's easy.
Mm-hmm.
You get paid literally to talk.
I would rather be a writer or, as you said, storyteller. I mean, because I love creating stories. I can come up with I used to, when I was really interested in writing, I would come up with some pretty interesting stories, and that would kind of flow and really work well. I mean, it's been a while since I really wrote, but it was fun. So if I did ever have a job or career in that industry, I would definitely just write.
I think that's great. Also, if you can draw, you can just do a webtoon. Apparently anybody can do a webtoon.
That is true.
If you can draw, you can do a webtoon. If you can write, do a web novel.
Yeah.
If you can voice act, animate a web novel.
A web novel.
You could take the pictures and voice over things. I'm sure people would watch it. I don't know who gets monetized, but I don't know. I think there's a way. I read I did an audiobook for a Russian Windows 10 manual.
You speak Russian?
No. I spoke it in English.
Oh.
Why did the Russians need me? I don't know. But it's there.
That's so silly.
I'm in my last four. Before I start. Do you have any questions for them? I think I'm in my last 3 or 4. Do you have any questions before I wrap it?
What what are you guys currently watching of this year, or what are you guys currently excited for that's coming up next year?
Okay. Currently watching Yashahime Princess Half Demon. But I'm obsessed and I love it. I'm also watching Jujutsu Kaisen right now, and I actually do. I really like it. I think the hype is real. We'll see what happens. And I also, which I'm enjoying, but I haven't really kept up as much with it, is The Day I Became a God, which is also by the same author of.
But I have not.
It's really good. It's cute. It's starting off really cute and interesting. I have a feeling it's going to definitely be a tearjerker because it's the same author of Angel Beats, which is what attracted me to it to begin with. So far, those are the three things that I'm like currently watching and I'm enjoying. I feel like I just watched a video about winter 2020, and I don't know. Oh, and Haiku. Sorry, love Haiku. I'm gonna let you go yours, and I'll think about what I'm
crazy mainstream ones because I'm on the same boat with a lot of them. I was super happy to see my teen romantic comedy Snafu come back. That was nice. Then for this season, I'm probably watching Blood of Zeus. I count that. I know it's American, but I think it's good to see different stories get animated because I think right now that's the time to I think now that it's way more acceptable in pop culture to talk about anime, I think we're going to see a lot more things become animated because for the longest time, the excuse you gave people was the fact that, we could watch, the reason that you watch anime is for the stories and because they're able to make the characters do different things. And it wasn't like now it's true. Like the stories, you're seeing the best stories get animated. And obviously anything that comes out that's webtoon related, I just want to support that effort and make sure that any Crunchyroll original gets watched because you want to just make sure that the support's getting thrown there because there's a lot of great webtoons and there's going to be more great webtoons coming out.
Yeah. Unordinary, I think.
So long as and that's the name one. And then one that I'm definitely looking forward to. It's just goofy ones like Log Horizon 3. I'm stoked that's going to come out next year. That was one of the game ones that was told in a really different way. Obviously, the final Attack on Titan coming out in December.
18 days.
What are the other ones that are
Stone Wars? That's what I'm excited
coming
for.
Out. There's a massive amount of sequels. That are coming out next year. That's it's going to be such a good season.
Stone Wars is the only one I can think of.
Very good.
For me, but for me personally.
Did you have any more?
Horima, that's coming out. Horima, it's a rom-com. And if you know what, rom-coms are always great in the moment, but they're not
memorable.
They don't well, I don't know.
They don't last.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe they do.
I don't know.
Interesting. I like your list because it's stuff I want to go research and look because I never heard of some of those. So I'm all right, you put some on my list now.
Yes.
Listen, you need a list. I can give you a freaking list. You asked me top 5, I give you 14. How about that?
I'm dead.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, another question I have. What is one thing you love about you guys' podcast?
Just the ebb and flow, it's good. I think it's cool to hang out. So growing up, there's an age difference between Inga and I. So she went to college pretty early in my career as a person.
Your career as a human
being. So I mean, it's cool to just set aside some time and hang out. I think that's the best part about it.
I think what's also really fun is you definitely listening to our podcast, you're going to either feel like you're one of the siblings or you're going to feel like you're in on the joke because we definitely, you could tell we're probably siblings from the way we banter with each other. And even though, I would say I know a lot about my brother and I think I know a lot about his opinions, he surprises me all the time and he'll take it somewhere totally left field that I didn't know, or he'll expand even my own opinion of something, which I think is really nice. And we definitely give you two different distinct points of views. You're going to get a different opinion depending on who, and like you might agree with me, you might agree with him, or a lot of times we just come together and we agree and we're like, that's the same thing. And also we do kind of go off on some tangents, and he has some stories I've never heard before. Yeah. If I could say one episode that you guys should listen to, it's our Adults Talking Anime sports episode. We talk about sports animes, but we go off on a wild tangent about rollerblades. Mm-hmm. I won't ruin it because it's very funny. I was cry laughing because of the stories, because if you've ever ridden rollerblades before, you probably have a story about just wrecking your life and ruining it. So I would recommend that one. It's probably my favorite episode we've ever done, because I just cry laugh from the beginning to end, because it's silly. It's really silly.
Nice. Okay. And my next question is, one guest you would have on. It could be like a historical figure, an anime character,
that we would want on the show.
Maybe like a director, or it can be anybody in the world, alive or dead.
Who would you want on the show?
Just who do I want?
Well, anybody. You just said you could literally pick anybody. If we could have one guest on the show, who would it be?
I guess it would be my excuse to finally talk to Noam Chomsky, the linguistics master.
Is this real?
What?
Did you just make it all up? Is everything what you just said real?
Yeah, Noam Chomsky.
Okay, I'll separate. I'll make it easy. Can I make it easier? One anime character and one whatever. One anime character and one maybe like a person.
Oh, I love that. That's actually really fun. So if you could talk to any anime character, who would you want on the show? Dang, that's so hard. Any anime character. The only one that keeps coming to my head is Natsu, and I don't know why. I have no real reason for why I would want Natsu on the show. I just like him from Fairy Tail. But if for real though, I would definitely want I'm going to say her name wrong. The voice actress, actually, of Naruto, Maylene Flanagan, I think is.
I don't know her name, so
is how you would pronounce it. But it's just so insane to watch her do Naruto's voice, like outside of Naruto. It's crazy. You're just like, oh my god. I think that would be super fun to like chat with her and just, hear about her career, how she really got started. I mean, she literally is a queen of anime dubs because she's worked on so many different shows. Who did you meet? He was the voice of Tigger, or no, who was it?
Goofy.
Goofy. Yeah, he met the voice actor of Goofy, and he called us on the phone, and he left a voice message in his Goofy voice.
Very successful sales career.
I almost cried. It's so cute.
Goofy.
But for me, it'd probably be Elle, because I think that's the only story that you want to hear. Is like, he was the world's top 1, 2, and 3 detective. True.
You should explain.
There's a lot of stories that probably haven't been told. How did he become? Like, he was hired to investigate himself.
So funny. I never even caught that when I first watched the show.
I didn't either. So you opened my eyes.
Really? I also noticed that at one time he gives Mogi a strawberry and he puts it in his pocket. If you go to the second half,
I didn't know that either.
Go to the second half, he's eating strawberries, and Light's dad and Mogi come in, and then he just hands Mogi the strawberry that he was about to eat, and he just pockets that bad boy. Why? Why did that happen? I don't know.
That's so funny.
That was kind of interesting.
It's like episode 27 So it's in the 20s.
Do you have a real person or no?
It can be dead or alive.
I mean, if it has to be completely anime related, the only other person that I think would be mad cool to talk to would be Shemel, the voice of Goku. He's like super nice, and I like always. Well, from what I see, he's nice, and he always does the Goku yell, and he has some funny stories. I've seen interviews with him. So
I'm a liar. Ian Cox. I would love to interview him.
Is it Sean Schemmel?
I'm not sure.
I think so. I think that's what it is. That's just because, I think that would be the person who I'd like geek out over. You're like, this is Goku.
Yeah.
This is Goku.
Yeah, I think about it when I watch panels. Sometimes I'll watch anime panels, and when the voice actors jump into doing their character voices, it just gives me, I love it. It gives me goosebumps, and I think it's so cute. Like Ian Cox is either one, but either one would be epic. I would do either one.
Chomsky is a real person, though.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm glad you're not lying.
It's true.
I have one final question for you guys, and then we'll call it a day.
Okay.
What is, I don't know, I might know your answer, but what is your greatest of all time anime? What is your GOAT?
Greatest of all time.
Like, not your favorite. Like, what do you think is hands down? You can go into the anime barbershop and be like, this is the best. This is why. This is why. This is why.
This is going to be wild, but my answer is going to be Run with the Wind.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Run with the Wind, I would have to say, is a perfect 26 episodes from start to finish. You get emotions. You get, you have a cast. It's not even just the main character, because at first he's a little unlikable, but everybody else around him is so good. You get very, very invested in this story, and they have a goal. I don't know. It's really just seeing like humans triumph, but also not triumphing, and how they deal with it. It's beautiful. And the music on that anime, that music gets it. I can think about it. It gives me goosebumps. It's inspiring. If it makes you want to run. I don't even like running. But when you watch it, you think, maybe I should.
Yeah, that'd probably be mine, except I'm going second in this in this
situation.
So then I'm going to probably say, I go Angel Beats on it, man. I think it's got a bunch of moments where you laugh, and it's sad when you realize how they have to resolve their whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some decent music, live band shows. It's got it has things that make you remember it years down the road, years removed from it, and then it ends in a great way too.
If I could part two that question though, if I could take out all the fillers of Naruto, like the really like BS ones, not so much, because I like the Kakashi ones. I liked learning more about Kakashi. I removed some of the Itachi, but I just remember thinking that if you take out some of those, like, I don't know, the part where he's on the boat too, like he's on the boat
we
too
can take
long.
things out. You take the last 12 episodes of Death Note, and that's the perfect anime.
Yeah, that's sort of how I feel about Naruto and Naruto Shippuden though. If you remove the fillers and from start to finish, though, that kind of is also a perfect anime. But I guess as a whole package, I don't know if I'd be like, oh, it's a perfect anime. That was my just part two on it.
You guys?
Coming back on again.
No, say what yours is.
Yeah,
what is your perfect
yours?
anime in the barbershop?
He's like, I want to tell you.
Nobody will know. And
tell me it right now.
Nope. I'm gonna say that for a big.
It's a reveal.
I just revealed the thing that you're saving. Edit it all.
It's for a special occasion. I'll tell you off the record. I'll tell you.
Okay, all right. As long as you tell us off the record, because we gotta know.
Okay. But now this is your time to plug everything.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys can check us out anywhere you listen to podcasts. So like Google, Spotify, Stitcher, any of those places. Adults Talking Anime Plus. You can follow us on Twitter. We ask questions, put up random articles, and that's Adults T Anime. You can check out our Instagram. We're trying to get back on there a little bit more at Adults Talking Anime. And we do have a Discord. That's it on that.
That's for something I wanted to start or do. Like,
it's there. It exists. There's stuff happening. We put up anytime we talk about a really funny clip, we generally throw that up so you guys, in case you haven't seen it before. You can follow our personal Instagrams if you want. Mine's Ingadi Cosplay. Well, Ingadi_cosplay. His is Thor_Draper Jr.
Oh.
That's I looked it up. And I mean, basically,
I was gonna say, if you want to find my personal stuff, just Google my first, middle, and last name, and then I'm sure that stuff pops up.
Follow me on
LinkedIn. Yeah, LinkedIn me. I'm active on LinkedIn. Thor Draper Jr. Otherwise, you're friending my dad. He's a much better connection on LinkedIn than me. More valuable.
Okay. I think that's it. Yeah, don't just Google Adults Talking Anime Plot. You'll find us.
all right, thank you guys for coming on again. I really appreciate
Thank you.
Go check out their podcast. I'm put everything in the description box. I'll even put it on my Anime Again show again today. And we are out, folks. Y'all stay safe. Peace.
Yeah.